Alright, we are up and on the trail. I think it's only like 7:10 or so by the time I'm getting out. And it was fun last night. Yeah, we had about 2 hours of rain. It was just kind of light rain, though. All my stuff stayed dry, so that worked out really nice. But it was super windy. You could just hear it roaring through the trees, but where my tent and stuff was at was tucked into the woods pretty nice, so the wind wasn't a bother at all. Rain wasn't too bad. It's gonna be a nice, beautiful morning right now. It's cleared up some. Sun's just now poking above the mountains. And I think we got like a 12-mile day to Winding Stair. We drop into Franklin. And then in a few miles here, we will hit Albert Mountain. And there's a special surprise there that I will show you when we get there. Some of you might know what's coming up though. And the sun's coming out. It is feeling really nice. My legs are feeling good. Just cruising, picking up speed. I'm finding that I'm usually the first one out in the mornings. And I like being up. Well, first of all, the birds are chirping at like 6 a.m. anyway, so you're going to be awake at that point. But I also feel like I'm the freshest in the morning, so I just want to get out and hike. It's cool. Just get those miles in early. And, you know, as Dad would say, you're burning daylight. If the sun's up, you might as well be out hiking. Enjoy this beautiful morning. All I can say is, holy hell, what a view. I'm on the last, like, 0.2 miles of Albert Mountain before I get to the top. And it's steep. This part's a workout for sure. Just slow and steady. Here's the top of Albert Mountain. There's something very special about this fire tower. One 100 miles. This should be where Long Branch shelter is, down that ways, and we're gonna keep moving. There's another shelter, which I think is called Rock Gap, which is about 3.5 miles from here, and I think that's gonna be where I'm gonna take a break. Glass Mine Gap. Alright, I was crested up on a ridge just a minute ago with some signal, so I called the Gooder Grove hostel. They've got some space available, so I went ahead and booked. I could have stayed in the bunk room, but they had one private room available, and I was like, yeah, let's go for it. So I booked the private room for 2 nights, and let's see. I was trying to, they can do the free shuttle service and pick you up from Winding Stair, but they were saying if I can make it by 2:30, that'll be easier coordinating between other pickups and stuff they have to do. So I've got about 5.5 miles to do in 3.5 hours. So it's doable. I'm just going to keep a good pace and just go straight into Winding Stair Gap, and then everything will be coordinated. That'll be all the hard stuff figured out, and then I can just chill when I get to Franklin. Enjoy a nice zero tomorrow. Something else, while I was stopped for making the phone call coordination for getting the hostel booked, I ran into a ridge runner that was chilling up there, and passed on my bear encounter information, so we got that taken care of. And for those that don't know, ridge runners are, I think they're all volunteer, but they're basically people that just come out here and hike the trails, and they're just checking on hikers, and they'll like take notes of, you know, they'll catch the gossip of the trail and see if there's, you know, weird things going on or not, and try to report things as they find it, and you know, stuff like downed trees that need to be taken care of by the maintenance crews and stuff like that. So they're kind of like the lifeblood taking care of the trail, kind of like your frontline guys that are out here overseeing stuff. So big thanks to the ridge runners, and big thanks to the trail crews that are out here taking care of stuff too. And this should be where Rock Gap Shelter is, and we're just gonna keep pushing on through. Coming up on Rock Gap. .7 to Winding Stair, that's where we're getting off. There it is, made it to Winding Stair Gap. Now I just got a little bit of a wait for my shuttle. I just got checked into the Gitter Grove Hiker Hostel. We're all situated there. I'm gonna hike down into town and check out some place to eat. I think I'm gonna go to the, there's a hiker brewery something in town here that I'm gonna go check out, get a good burger or something and a beer. I will see you there. Just enjoying some yummy dessert. All right, we're heading back to the hostel after enjoying some nice dinner, dessert, beers. It's been a great evening. I have absolutely loved the town of Franklin, North Carolina. Just in the few hours already that I've spent here, it's been awesome. I've met a lot of cool people already. Just met Jim, like he's another thru hiker. Just met him like just a few hours ago. We're staying at the same hostel. He's been awesome. Jim, thanks for everything and the times. He's getting off trail very shortly, so I won't be able to hike out with him. But yeah, it's just one of those guys, like I wish we could just spend more time together. I've thoroughly enjoyed your company, thanks. But I'll check back in with you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna do a zero here all day tomorrow, so we'll check out the outfitters and maybe run around and do some other stuff. There's some museums and things, historical stuff to see here, so I might check some of that out. But I'm gonna sign off for now, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Bye. Good morning. I'm up kind of early. It's almost 7, I think. I'm gonna go wander a block or two from here. There's a nice little breakfast place. Go get some bacon and eggs and stuff. Then I think I'm gonna head back to the hostel, get some laundry done, and then go check out an Outfitters later. But yeah, these little trail towns are where it's at, man. This is as much as the trail life as it is as being on the trail itself. You got to explore these little towns and meet people and stuff. I'm having a great time here, especially hanging out at hiker hostels. You got to stay at the hostels, just interact with the other hikers, meeting new people, seeing where everybody else is at, and that kind of thing. All right, we will check back in later. Back up to the Lazy Hiker for lunch. All right, now I'm heading back to the hostel. I got a belly full of good food. I checked out the Outfitter. I talked to them about my foot pains and what their suggestions might be. I still have just a little bit of heel pain after like 8 miles of hiking, but then overnight sleeping, feet are fine in the morning. So they said not to worry about it too much. It didn't sound like any major problems to them, and that instead of doing like 12 to 16 mile days, the 16 was the biggest I did, but I should definitely be cutting that back a little bit and just let my feet get used to the distances a little bit more before I start pushing the bigger miles, so slow down to like 8 miles a day or so. So I think I'm going to do that and do like only 8, maybe 10 miles at the most or something. So it'll change up my plans a little bit for getting towards the Smokies. And I still need to do a resupply run to Engels. I'll do that maybe in an hour or so. Get a little bit more food and then kind of come up with a little more well-refined game plan for what the next week or so is going to look like. So as I'm figuring out more of some of the logistical and resupply and just trying to figure out what I'm doing for the next couple of days here, I'm just going to share some of my notes. So for example, up at the top here, we are currently at the Gooder Grove Hiker Hostel, getting back on trail tomorrow at Winding Stair, and there's the mile marker for that. I did stop at the Outfitter in town here and talked about my heel pain issue, and they said it sounded like nothing permanently serious. I just need to slow down my miles. I can do 8 miles easily before the heel pain starts up. So they were like, yeah, just do 8 miles, and then when you get that pain, just stop. So I'm going to try to limit myself to around 10 for the next couple of days or so and see if that helps with the heel pain there. So I've backed down my plan here a little bit from getting on a Winding Stair. It's maybe an 11-mile distance to Wyabald Shelter, so that'll be day 1. And then 10.6 to Westerbald, that'll be day 2. And then it's only 6 miles to get into the NOC, which is the Nantahala Outdoor Center, and that'll be a good resupply stop. So I've got 2.5 days worth of food that I'm going to hike out of here with. Then from the NOC, I'm going to do something similar, where it's just 2.5 days, Locust, Cove, Gap, then to Cable Gap, and then 6.5 miles about to Fontana Dam. We'll resupply again there before hitting the Smokies. And just some initial planning. I haven't looked at this too seriously, but Smokies is about 75 miles, so going at a 15-mile pace, if I can pick it up at that point, it will take me about 5 days, so that's the plan. Somewhere in the middle there, I might be able to get a hitch and get into Gatlinburg for like a resupply or a break there, but I'll look at that later when I get to Fontana Dam. And then that'll put me into Standing Bear Hostel when I'm getting out of the Smokies, and then from there, it's 2 days about to get into Hot Springs. So that's kind of an overview of what like the next 2 weeks or so looks like for me on trail. Well, and that's about it for today's adventures. The sun's gone down and I think it's about bedtime. So I'm going to hit the bed. We're going to get up in the morning and get a ride back to the trailhead at Winding Stair, and we'll kick this off again tomorrow. We'll see you in the next one.